Three, two, one, go. So, hello everybody, and welcome to the Third Culture Rant segment of the George Habib channel. We're a bit overdue for this one. And today we will talk about basically someone who was born somewhere, living elsewhere, and presumably belonging nowhere. And that is a third culture person. Yanal, based on this definition, are you a third culture person?
Well, yes, but technically, like where I was born, no, I was born in the States.
Mhm.
But yeah, like living in Turkey and where I live now, definitely third culture.
Perfect.
And
So,
I've experienced both. Yeah.
beauty. So, you are a third culture kid. Let's go with it. And
Yeah,
yeah,
I'll go with
everybody,
that
by
now.
the way, this is Yanal. Yanal,
Oh,
say hi
yeah.
to everybody.
Hello, everyone. I'm Yanal Hindawi. We went to high school together, George and I. Yeah, we grew up in Dubai.
And he was just as
And
cool in high school as he is now.
thank you. And yeah, after graduated from high school, I went to America for university, and um, unfortunately, I didn't finish in America. So I took my credits and left the uni and went to Jordan for a year, and then went to Turkey. And I just graduated last summer from tourism and business management. But right now, I'm just working in social media and like an online content creator,
Hmm. Perfect.
freelancing.
And
Yeah,
that brings us to the actual topic of the video, which is being an immigrant in Turkey.
yeah. Lived here for 5 years now,
Hmm.
almost 5 years. And well, yeah. What would you ask me
Don't worry,
about
man.
my life?
We've got a
Yeah.
list of questions here for you.
All right.
So you already told us about your background. So now I want to ask you
Yes.
now, when did you move to Turkey?
Mm, wait, was it 2016 or 2017? But like, it was the fall semester of university, so it was around August, and this was 5 years ago, or
And
four
why
to 5 years ago.
and why did you move to Turkey?
My mom, she wanted to leave Jordan. We were living in Jordan at the time,
Hmm.
and I entered the university in Jordan, but unfortunately, I didn't have the equivalency to stay in the uni because I did high school in Dubai.
Right.
I'm Jordanian originally. I don't know if I mentioned that in the introduction, but I didn't have the equivalency, and I think they required 7 SAT 2 courses.
So
And I mean, we're
I only
Shaykhs
did
Fadi, so
one.
like I did well SAT 2,
Mhm.
which has the different like subjects. You only did one?
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah,
I did one exam.
right. That's SAT 1, which is like English, math, and the other English grammar and comprehension.
Bro, did you ever use that same instructor that everyone else used? The guy from India?
Ali
We can't do
Hashmatani or something.
names, but
I am sorry, we cut that technical
it's
difficulty.
we'll figure it out. But you know exactly who I'm talking about.
I know exactly. He had tricks and stuff to like
He was
solve
funny.
questions. Like he was funny. I think he's still doing what he does.
Bro, he's great at
Um,
it.
he's
And man,
really
people
good
pay
at it.
good money to get their kids to be smart.
Yeah, but it doesn't do that. I think it's just practicing an exam. Practicing an exam. Yeah.
Correction, people pay good money to pretend to pretend their kids are smart.
Honestly, that's true. I mean, if you're not from a very well-off family, but you could be really smart, but you go to a university that's not very listed highly,
Yeah.
and then you could be a student who is like very average, but you know, you get into a very good school because I mean, if you have the money, they will accept you. And there are many schools like that, many universities.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, the thing is, hello, we're going a bit away from the topic, but don't worry about it. The thing is, I don't see universities as like the necessary minimum to be successful. Like
Oh,
I've been
yeah.
through university, it's taken me a long time, which could have been shorter. Didn't know what I wanted to do, which is something I touched upon in other videos. And like coming out of university with an honors, a minor, a master's, I honestly don't think university is necessary for success.
Hell no. Yeah. I,
Yes. But like again, that's
mm,
like a whole different topic. If you want to do that for another video, we can totally do that.
for sure. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing this podcast again. And there's many topics to talk about, man.
No worries. I'll just get us back to
Yeah.
the questions because it is a specific topic we're on. So you moved to Turkey with your family.
Just my mom.
Okay, so with your mom. So
Yeah.
now, and you touched upon this, I think. What do you do for work in Turkey? I know you mentioned social media, digital, and all that, but could you tell us more about it?
It was by luck. Um, I found a client through my. All right. Sorry. It
Is
was
this
through my
spicy?
sister. I probably would skip about the work thing because it has not much to do like with my life in Turkey. I don't want to
Just
talk
a quick
about my work
overview.
too much. A quick overview is that I'm lucky. It was through my sister. If it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't have a job right now here in
Mhm.
Turkey. And I don't
Perfect.
know how people would view that. It's very hard to get a job here in Turkey as a foreigner.
Bro, like
And the
wherever I
economy
go
is
in the
not
Middle
so good.
East, wherever I go in the Middle East and ask people, the majority, not everybody, but the majority of people get their job through a family or friend connection. I don't
Right.
see, and that's normal, man. We want to help others in our lives and we want to give them the connect. So I don't see anything
That's
wrong with that
true.
at
Yeah.
all. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I do a good job. And so technically what happened was in March of last year, March 21, my
Mhm.
sister messaged me. It was a bit after my birthday, I think in March. So I just turned 26 and she was like, "Do you want to work with me?" And this was before my senior like graduating senior year because we graduated in the summer. It
Right.
was like, just a few more months and I'm graduating from this university in Alanya.
Yeah.
I live with my mom in a city called Alanya in Turkey, and now I'm living in Istanbul with my father.
Mhm.
But I go back and forth. Sometimes I stay for a period with my mom, sometimes with my dad.
Perfect.
So
And that
yeah,
gives
about
us
the work, yeah,
the perfect segue into the next question. How
yeah.
is Turkey different from other places you've been or have lived in?
How is it different? So I
What's
lived in
special?
4 countries. What's special about Turkey?
Yeah, based on your
Mm,
experiences.
it's the most foreign I've felt, if I can
Hmm.
say so. That's
Well,
one way to put it.
it's the most foreign you have felt, or do you mean it's the most foreign place you've been to?
No, most foreign I've felt.
How so?
And when I mean that is interactions with people, because I mean it's not foreign to me because our cultures are really um, d- converge.
So
Um, we're
you
Middle
think there's a lot of
Eastern, you know.
overlap?
Yeah, there is the food, the religion, the major religion, the food, the people, the looks, the facial, appearance. But with the people, with like I just feel more foreign to Turkish people because, for example, when I lived in America, I I have this I was born there and I lived there for quite a while and I speak English very well. Language is a big thing as well. So I fit in and I didn't feel out of place in America.
Hmm.
Dubai, obviously we grew up there. Jordan, I'm Jordanian, but Turkey was different in this case from these
How?
4 countries.
Can you tell us more how it
That's
was?
and the language, mainly, maybe. The language is different. It's the grammar is very hard. I've been living here for almost 5 years and I don't speak Turkish very well.
Hmm.
And I think maybe more recently, more foreigners are like living here, and also Turks are dealing with more foreigners, but I don't think it was always like this. I mean, excluding tourism.
Yeah.
So also on their side, they don't speak English very well. I think this is the like one of the countries where I've been to where the English is a bit weak.
Is it
It's not
weak
like
in general or only outside the major areas like Ankara, Istanbul, and things like this?
relatively, yes, but as a whole, still weak. Just
Mm.
relatively stronger, obviously, in Istanbul or Ankara,
Right.
major cities. But when you would compare those major cities to like the capital of like Jordan, for example, I feel there's more English speakers. So
Mm.
that's one thing I would struggle with. Um, well, I did in the beginning, but now
It's
after
becoming
learning some
easier.
Turkish, it's becoming easier for sure.
Yeah. So,
I've
okay,
been
so
here.
the English is not as present in Turkey. And I'm assuming because it's a
Hmm.
pretty big country. So, with small countries, you kind of have to be forced to learn the language of your neighbors or an international language. But Turkey, at least compared to Lebanon and Jordan, especially
Hmm.
Lebanon, it's kind of big. So
Right,
everywhere they go, they can just meet Turkish people. So
right.
English, not
Uh,
as common. What about because it is a Muslim country and it has a lot of that overlap? What about Arabic?
well, I would say Turkey is also like from my experience, and it's just an opinion that it's not a very religious country, and it's a very like free in that sense. I think Jordan is a little more strict, religious. In Ramadan, for example, here you don't have that experience with Ramadan. So
They
you
don't
have those
they don't make
overlapping
like
things.
what's it called, curfews on food?
Nope, no, not at all. So the Arabic, no. I mean, maybe if you meet like a more religious Turkish family, they might know Arabic words from the Quran,
Mm.
or there's also some cities in Turkey from Konya, for example, Antakya,
Antakya,
where
okay.
they Antakya, sorry, where they they have, I think, more Arabic roots, so they could speak some Arabic. They know some Arabic.
Because it's next to
So
Syria.
yeah, and their food is amazing.
Antakya?
The in Turkey, yeah, Antakya food is just brilliant.
Okay.
Um, mhm,
So basically when it's close to the borders of Syria, it's more Arabic, or you'll find more
mhm,
Arabic speakers. And then that's interesting. You mentioned the Arabic in the Quran, because I would say that's kind of the same as when English speaking priests know Latin from the Bible.
right? Yeah,
Okay.
and they just memorize like a passage, and they know the meaning of that passage.
Hmm.
So
So now I got to ask about like kind of the geography. Like, for example, with Dubai, it's a hot desert with beaches. With
yeah,
Lebanon, it's got mountains and trees and beaches. Turkey, how's it like? Where the beaches at?
got every it's got everything. First of all seasons. The beaches are where my mother lives, where I did my university. It's a very touristic city, first of all, Alanya.
Love beaches.
Yeah, it's in the Antalya province. You would love it. You have to visit there, George, one day. You'd love it.
I want to. I
It's a
want to.
small city. I would say it's got a population of like around 400,000, maybe. Actually, I should check that. I don't want,
Oh,
but
only
less than half a
400,000?
million. Yeah, but compared to Istanbul, where I got like 22 million possibly right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like bigger than almost double my country.
Hmm.
So
Are we talking like a hot country, a cold country, humid, dry?
humid in Istanbul and Alanya. I mean, I haven't been to every city, and it's a big country, but you got Alanya, that's like Dubai,
Mhm.
a bit less Dubai. Sorry, but it's really intense over there in Dubai. I don't know. But you know,
Single
Dubai, you got
Celsius
ACs
in
everywhere.
midsummer.
I feel like in Dubai you have ACs, like sooner or later you're gonna have ACs like every single place you walk in Dubai.
Bro, the bus stops have AC. You cannot. Freaking in the
What?
summer, like traffic lights melt.
Oh man.
Like
Well,
tourists like get heat stroke all the time.
mm, um, I think there's this thing about co-workers, they can't work between sorry, construction workers.
Mhm.
They can't work between like certain hours in Dubai, right?
Bro, because
In
like
summer.
it's not that they just can't by law, which is a good thing. They can't. There's too much heat stroke, there's too much sunlight,
Right, right,
sunburn. Like it's literally something. How Canada has frostbite is how the UAE and the Gulf countries have heat stroke. It's legitimately
right.
a danger.
It is,
So
it is.
like when it's summer and you dare to walk outside, you know this, Yanal. You grew up here. You don't
Right,
see
yeah.
anyone outside. They don't come out
You
until
don't,
night. And even night is pretty
right.
hot.
It's humid as well.
I hate the humidity. I hate
Yeah.
it.
Well, Alanya is the same in that sense, honestly. It could get pretty bad. And then Istanbul, no, it's like the summer's cool and the winter is, it snowed a lot this year
Oh, I miss
in
snow. Thank you.
Istanbul. Well, usually you could experience Istanbul winter as well. It's amazing here. You really get all seasons, and it rains, snows, hot as hell, humid if you're by the beach.
Yeah. No, I get you.
Yeah,
Anyways, that was a very exciting conversation about the weather.
right?
So now I'm
In
going
the
to
next
ask about
segment of
some.
News Channel.
No, no, no. It
Yeah,
was
go ahead.
very informative. But
Oh
now
man.
I'm going to ask about something slightly less interesting. Tell us
Oh,
about the people.
the people.
The
Oh,
people.
well, like I said, maybe I would know more about the people if there was that, if my Turkish was better,
Mhm.
or most of the ones I met were their English is better. But no, of course not. I've met many Turks who their English is good as well, and I have really good friends who are Turkish. And just like when you meet an Arab, you could meet any kind of Turkish person, just like you could meet any type of Arabic person, and being third culture in that sense. We
Fair.
have that third culture similarities, but differences, I would say, is good question. No, you would have to dig in deeper with that, so maybe I will think of something, but I don't know.
Well, if
Feel
I'm
we are
going
similar.
to drill deeper in you, I would say some people describe Turks or the Turkish people as a mix between Arab and European. The cultures, the looks. Because, dude, I've seen blonde, blue eyed Turkish people
Hmm.
who I would have never guessed were Turkish. And then I've seen Turkish people that look exactly like me. Like, and I look, the light's a bit bright and stuff, and I haven't had a tan in a while, but like
Right.
brown, black haired, and brown eyed.
Well, Arabs as well. I mean, of course, Turkish people,
Mhm.
much more blonde Turks, much more color-dyed Turks. My brother and sister have colored eyes, and they're blonder than me as well. So, Arabs have that, but Turkish people a lot more, percentage-wise. Um, European like though, yeah, I would say, because I feel it's more open here, like I mentioned earlier. So, and I live on the European side. Geographically, I'm in the European side. So,
So, like to the left of Istanbul.
yes,
Okay. Because like I
yeah,
always, because I always hear like there's this thing in Turkey, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like they can't decide if they're European or Asian.
well, I would say, like, if I just an opinion, so I would say, like, it's Middle Eastern, just culturally, like, I wouldn't say it's European.
Mhm.
But the openness is much more. That's all. That's about it. I wouldn't say there's a European touch here.
Would you say they're as traditional as Arabs, or there's more of like a Western flavor?
more Arab-like than Western flavor.
Okay. Because I find it interesting because sometimes when I talk with people, and even some of them being Turkish, if you asked a European or American what they thought of Turks, they would say they're kind of like an they would say they're kind of like you said, a Middle Eastern brown people. But then when you ask some Middle Eastern people, they would say they're like more of a European people. And I guess the
Right?
answer is both.
Possibly. I mean, both, yeah.
Because like
But
I don't know what your mom watches, Yanal, but my mom will watch these shows and like there'll be like blue-eyed, blonde, redheads. Like I can't assume like I can't even like my mind can't even pay attention to the script, but it looks like
Mhm.
very dramatic, like a Mexican soap opera, like twists and
it,
turns,
it is, it
like
is.
exaggerated music.
Definitely.
Like the music is
Yeah.
90% of the tension. And then I'll think it's like a Euro, like if I didn't know better, I would have thought it was like a European show, like sometimes
Would
maybe
you?
like even an American show with like very bad Arabic dub. And then my mom will be like, no, it's a Turkish show.
No, I mean, I could spot a Turkish show from anything. Like you would know it's a Turkish show when you see it. Of course, the features a lot wider. But in terms of like a Turkish drama,
Hmm.
is a Turkish drama. Nothing like American. You
But
like an interesting thing about, I mean, the language is that there are many words that are Arabic in the Turkish language. Many, 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 and Persian as well.
Persian,
Farsi,
yeah, Farsi.
Farsi, yeah. Like, yeah.
Don't they have a border with Iran?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe at the top,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
But yeah, back to the shows. Why are Arab
From
mothers
Bang.
obsessed with these shows?
Right? I have no idea. Like they're good, I guess. Quality wise, they're pretty good. And there's a lot of Turkish dramas that I watched as well. Not like that, but really talented Turkish actors. I mean, one thing
Bro,
about
they,
Turkey,
the actors come here and they're like celebrities of the clubs.
I'm sure they are. I mean, uh, there's some Turkish actors who acted in big American movies too. One, I just know one name, and I guess I could mention a celebrity, and his name is Haluk Bilginer,
Okay,
and
I don't know that and I cannot pronounce that.
yeah, Haluk, I guess Haluk. But I think he was in like Gladiator or something, some American movie,
Wait,
or
is he
like a
the
few
dead
of them.
guy?
No, I think he was.
The
No, no,
old guy
I don't think
who
he
bought
died.
the gladiators in the movie?
No, he just appeared in the movie for a few minutes.
Yeah. His
He
mother must
wasn't.
probably have been very proud. If they're anything, bro,
Oh man.
if he's anything like an Arab, he probably came back and now his mom's telling her friends he was the main star of the movie. Number one was Halu, whatever his name
uh,
is, and number two was
Halloumi.
Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe said, "I want your autograph."
He got third place out of three actors, Um,
Yeah, but you know
I
how like moms twist it to make their
oh
kid
yeah,
like the main character of whatever story they bring up.
everyone's a superstar in their mom's eyes, man.
The kid could be
You
a
know?
freaking nurse, and then they'll make it sound like they were like the top surgeon general that gets flied in for
Right.
brain tumors or stuff like that.
But he did act in a very good show. I like call it like the Turkish Breaking Bad. It was just one season though,
Mhm.
and it was called Shahsiyat.
So personalities.
Unfortunately, yeah, it's like in the English name of the show was Persona.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, the translation wasn't, I guess, for some shows like that's their English name. It was Persona.
Mhm.
Really good show. One season. For anyone who wants to see quality Turkish series, I would recommend that, not the soap operas.
Bro, there's the soap operas based in modern days, and then there's like it's gotta be a very specific genre, but like Ottoman soap operas.
Oh yeah,
Like
there's
based on like
Minotan.
sultans and like
Yeah,
200 years ago, 300 years ago.
Yep.
And like,
Never watched any of them though. Yeah.
bro, my mom's obsessed with it.
She watches the Ottoman ones too,
Yeah,
the
yeah. I'll
historical
just walk
ones.
in the room and then it's like some sultan guy with like a massive hat, and his wives are plotting and his brothers are plotting and everyone is plotting. No one is just like sitting down and
Everyone, yeah.
enjoying wealth,
No, there's always some problem, like
like a
some
scheme.
dramatic, like a scheme.
No,
Can't
but
trust
bro,
anyone.
the scheme
In that.
isn't, I gotta say this, the scheme isn't even the focus. Like the scheme is not what adds to the intensity. They could be baking cupcakes for all they care. I think the majority of the intensity is, like I said, the music.
The music, it's
Bro, they could
intense.
be playing freaking backgammon. Backgammon, it's like Arabic chess for people who don't know what that is. They could be
Yeah.
playing backgammon, and 90% of the intensity is the music.
Yep, that's yeah. When you mentioned that, that's true. I mean, I haven't seen. My mom doesn't, or my dad doesn't watch them. It's been a while, but
Yeah.
I remember. It's kind of like that, you know.
The last thing, okay, because we're kind of digressing a bit, but the last thing I'll say on it is I'll always know when the show takes a break because they
Yeah,
play the break music.
the break music, like
Like like when
um
it's time for like a break, and then like
intermission music.
intermission music, and it's like na, 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 and like it's deafening. It's way louder than the show.
Oh yeah, just like advertisements sometimes on YouTube, it becomes way louder than the video.
Yeah.
Dude, some Turkish series, like the episodes are 2 hours long. Like every episode is a movie on its own, and then they release like a 200 episodes for one series. I don't know how they come up with that many storylines.
I don't,
But
Lebanese mothers, man. Lebanese mothers or Arabic mothers carry these shows. Like maybe the
yes.
average person in Turkey is like, who the hell is this actor? But like the average Lebanese, Palestinian, Jordanian, Iraqi, Syrian mother will just be like, oh my God, it's whatever name you said earlier. Abu, blah, 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 whatever. I completely forgot your name, the name of the
The
actor.
George Clooney of like Turkish dramas.
Exactly. Exactly. So
For real.
I love how we talked a little bit about the people and then went straight to the soap operas.
Well, well, when you live here, it's nothing like that. And I mean, there's way more than the soap operas to describe Turkey. And I think I've been here long enough to describe my experiences from a foreign point of view.
Mhm.
And I just want you to ask me because
I'll ask
what's the
you.
next question?
And now the next
I'm
question.
interested
All
after
you
soap
had to say was
operas.
next question, you know. So the
Oh,
next
really? Do
question.
we edit that part, I guess?
No, no, I like a rant. We'll make it into a little
Yeah.
clip. So
All right. All right.
so I asked you about the land. I asked you about the people, which we completely forgot about because of the shows. Tell
Right.
me more about Turkish culture.
Turkish culture, food culture, as in like traditions. Well, I could talk about like cultures. I mean, as like a Muslim, we have the same holidays, but of course, there's a lot of Turkish holidays that are Turkish,
Hmm.
and plenty of them, and it has to do with the history of Turkey and the Republic. And it's a very beautiful thing. I think the culture here is that the people are very proud to be Turkish, and rightly so. And they're just a proud nation, I guess.
Very nationalistic.
Uh, Very nationalistic. Sometimes there's pros and cons to it, obviously, in any country in that sense. But they're also very respectful to foreigners. When comparing at least to Jordan, not Dubai, though. Dubai is very hospitable for any foreigner. I mean, it's the city of the expats.
It's
But
the city of hospitality. It's the international
it
city.
is, yeah, it is. But no, here in Turkey and specifically Alanya and Istanbul, the two places that I lived, very hospitable. Culture, they're open, but they have that Middle Eastern culture. It's there. It's there. With, Bayram, they call Eid Bayram and they call Ramadan Ramazan just because, the pronunciation is different and the letters are different, but it's the same. It's the same.
Would you describe them as
Uh,
like secular Muslims?
what would secular mean?
So secular basically means like with no focus on religion,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
and
would
Muslim
describe
is
them.
like they're Muslim.
Yes, secular Muslims. Like
Mm.
myself, I would consider myself a secular Muslim. I'm like Muslim, but like I'm not fasting. I respect uh, everyone who fasts, but me just personally, I don't fast, and I also never, and they don't also care if someone's fasting or not.
Mm.
They wouldn't say anything, and they respect who fasts and they respect who doesn't. Restaurants are open during Ramadan, like I mentioned. Um, that's about it. Yeah,
So
culture wise.
basically, would you say like religion is something that's personal? So in public, you don't see it as much. It's not emphasized as much.
No.
But then when you go home, like they pray, there's the Quran, they fast.
Hmm.
Would it be like that, or is it
And
something different?
it would be like that. Religious families would never get into the face of others, but I think other things play a role, and it's I'm not here to talk about that.
Yeah,
But religion isn't the like they're respectful, and that's how religion should be, in my opinion, is that you do it
I
for
agree.
yourself and who you believe in. No need, you're not the one to judge. You're not God in that sense. Me being a Muslim, like we have Allah, who's gonna judge us.
Yeah,
So I don't like if a Muslim person came to me and said like, "Hey man, why aren't you fasting?" Like
yeah.
everyone has the reason. So in that sense, it is more open-minded here in Turkey, George, and I like that. But also being a foreigner here, it's not as easy because there's many Turks who also don't understand Arabs, and maybe they might have like a don't judge a book by its cover, but they would do that kind of thing.
So that's basically the next question. But before we get to that question, I want to one last thing on this specific topic. Would you describe Turkish as a loud people, the way Arabs are?
Loud?
Like, let's say you were an American and you see these two brown people having a like yelling at each other, arguing with each other, like making a ruckus and stuff. You'd freak
Yeah.
out as a Westerner, but if
Mm-hmm.
that happened here, we just call it a conversation.
100% Turks are the same as Arabs. Like they will be on the phone like Arabs are louder, and when a Turk would tell me, "Oh man, like yeah, you guys sound like you're always yelling," like we are louder. Oh, our
Yeah.
volume is on 100. But no, but like I know what you mean with the Western. It's like even this conversation, I feel has that. You know what I mean? And Turks would be the same, but like Western, it's more formal.
I don't know what
These
are you
are
talking about, Yanal. I'm a very soft-spoken person.
you are very gentle, George. Honestly, you are.
Wait, no,
You
this
speak
is not where I
very.
wanted it to go. No, hell no.
No,
No, but it's
no,
funny
but
because
like, yeah, yeah, dude. It's. Oh, I remember when I lived in America. That's when they're like, dude, what was going on the phone? I'm like, I was just talking to my mom. She misses me. That's all.
yeah.
It was okay. We didn't fight. It's okay. Everything's fine. She just said, "I love you." That's how we say it in Arabic. They think we're yelling or something, but no, Turks understand that. They're the same, dude.
Yeah,
In
because
that sense, yeah.
it's like with Arabs, like what I've noticed, having a bit of the outside perspective, like basically two Arab dudes will have a conversation like, bro, I'll freaking kill you. Don't you dare say that about me. It's like, what the hell are you talking about, you son of a dog? And like everyone like who's
Uh,
Western will freak out. Indians won't care, they're used to it. Africans
mhm,
won't care, they're used to it. Some South
mhm.
Americans won't care. They have a similar way of talking. But then
Yeah.
like everyone else will just be freaking out. And then at the end of the conversation, it's like, yo, my wife's cooking tomorrow. You better be there.
Yeah, that's how they joke around, everything's lighthearted. But that's, when the Western sees it, they think there's something
They panic.
serious.
They panic.
They panic, yeah.
Especially if it's
Man,
like
when
on
we
a plane.
play on a plane, oh man,
Bro, Arabs
that's
have to suppress them. Arabs have to suppress themselves on planes.
we do. We definitely do. And yeah, I guess Turks do too because they have that similarity for sure. When I play football with my friends here in Turkey, they would say all the, in Arabic musabbat,
Yeah.
that
Sabbat
there
means
is in
curses.
Turkish. Yeah, and they would say the most awful ones. But the nice thing about Turks, they aren't physically violent at all. Like when I play in Jordan with my friends, and they get physical. They might, you could have a fight, physical fight. But here in Turkey, that never happens. It's
Hmm.
just words. It's all words. But they would never lay a hand on anyone. It's
Yeah.
chill. It's chill. It has, just a lower level than Arabs. I feel like Arabs are
Less
louder,
intense Arabs.
less intense Arabs for sure. That's how I would put it.
Perfect. So now that takes us to the next question, because we do have those. Uh, given the culture, given the area, given the people, what is difficult about living in Turkey as an immigrant?
The language and getting a job.
Mhm. Could you
Both.
could you give more context on that?
Yeah, I could. First of all, they coincide. So if you don't know the language, there's going to be trouble finding a job because first of all, the people you're going to work with probably don't know English very well. So you need to know Turkish in order to communicate internally
Right.
and externally because there's many customers you're going to deal with who are probably not going to be foreigner. And there are many foreigners who come to Turkey who like Russians or Ukrainians, and they probably speak Turkish or Russian or Ukrainian, but they won't know English.
Is it
Even
because they're
some
like
foreigners who come,
sorry to interrupt, Yanal. Is it because they're like Turkic or Turkmen Russians, like Chechens, Dagestanis,
not
Kazakhs?
necessarily. No, not necessarily.
Hmm.
I'm talking about, even just the Russians or Ukrainians, not about that.
Would it be
Um,
like an American learning Spanish? Because that's the most
sorry,
relevant second language in that area.
yeah. Not in all cities. In Alanya, yes. So Alanya, for example, I think if I wanted to get a good job, if I knew Turkish and Russian, wow. But Turkish and English doesn't do as well, or Turkish and German, for example, in Alanya. Here in Istanbul, Arabic, Turkish and Arabic, you're golden because there's some areas where it's like, I'm telling you, some areas in Turkey are, oh, I didn't even touch on this. I don't know if it's going to be a next question,
Touch
but
it, you
some
know,
areas
touch
in
it.
touch it. I'm touching it.
You
Some
better
areas
touch
in
it.
Istanbul are like, dude, it's like Syrian, like just all Syrians or Somalians or Palestinians living in the same area.
Hmm. Is it because
And
they all speak
Arabic
Arabic?
restaurants. Yeah, I guess because everything over there is like Arabic restaurants and Arabic markets that sell Arabic bread and all that. So yeah.
Are there,
Um,
to expand on your point, are there a lot of foreigners working in Turkey who aren't necessarily Russian?
yes, there's a lot of Arabs who work here, a lot of Syrians working here. Sometimes working legally is different from it is different, sorry. I'm losing track, but sometimes you'll find many of them working illegally, and it's not something sketch,
Hmm.
what I'm saying, like
It's
for your
accepted.
viewers or anything. it's accepted. I mean, technically it's illegal because it's very hard to get a work permit here.
Mm. Do you
Yes,
ever find
that's
foreigners like Americans, Europeans, even East Asians like Chinese and Japanese?
working.
The rare foreigners, yeah, working.
Working, not many. Living, yes.
Okay,
Retired.
okay. Oh, that's pretty
Mhm.
interesting. So basically, if it's someone who wants to move elsewhere, it's difficult. Like if you land there, there's no easy guarantee of a job.
No. And my parents moved here on the sense that, they weren't working anymore when they made that decision. So it's a maybe a place you could retire and live nicely. Unfortunately, I don't like what's going on with the economy here. The Turkish lira, which is the currency of Turkey, is has
The lira.
plummeted intensely.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, there's some issues with the
And
economy, but I guess that's a whole different area.
whole
Uh,
different area, but what I wanted just to, sorry,
no,
like
no,
the
no.
last
Go
thing
ahead,
was
man.
that
This is
it
all about
makes
you.
it easier. It makes it easier for a foreigner to live here if he gets money from the outside. But if you're a young person like you and I, and you want to come here and work and you get paid in lira and look for an apartment to live in, it's not that easy right now, I would say.
What if you're okay? So this might be a special situation. What if you move there, but you're a freelancer and you work jobs outside of Turkey? How easy would it be or difficult would it be to set that up, the Wi-Fi, the apartment, the permits, living?
Having your freelance job outside of Turkey, you mean?
Because there's all these talks of like digital nomads, digital expats, like they'll move to a country like the Philippines or
I don't,
India or South America, but their work is like digital. They're doing freelance jobs for Americans, for Europeans.
I would say it would be a lot more simpler than
Mm.
working here for sure. I mean, I live with my father, but if you get paid in dollars or euros, technically, or any foreign currency, and you're living here as a digital nomad, working online, it's easier for sure.
Beauty. And since
Um,
okay, so that's work. What else is difficult?
More interesting personal things, something for the viewers, because like right now I feel like I'm giving a tutorial on what to do and move to Turkey, but like in sense of friends, maybe,
Mhm.
you know, it's not difficult at all. I think making friends here was nice. And then you meet a lot of foreigners like myself here. I would say, I have a mix of both Turkish and foreign friends. And usually, what happens here is like maybe in my university,
Excuse me.
and I don't know about other unis, it's all good,
I'm
that
dizzy.
the foreigners,
Okay, so Yanal, to go on a more positive point, since that was the difficulties of living in Turkey, which is basically can be summed up with language and I guess what job you get. To be more positive, what is easy about living in Turkey?
um, what is easy, the hospitality, in some sense, like safety is pretty decent here. I mean, there are some areas where it's obviously not like the safest and stuff, but I think overall Turkey is a safe country to live in. It's and in sense of like, I think the purchasing power is pretty fair.
Mhm.
I know the economy is bad right now, but Turkey always had a very strong, like a very good purchasing power. You can get things for cheap here if you wanted to, if you really tried, even with the struggle of the economy and all that. So as a foreigner, it's, you have all these options. It's a very big country. They produce a lot of their own things as well. So if you buy like a Turkish product, it's going to be a lot cheaper. You always have that option.
I know they're pretty good with
Very.
like medicine.
Oh yeah, dude. We always send our medicine from here to our relatives in Jordan because medicine in Jordan is very expensive,
Even
and we get
Lebanon.
all our. Yeah, like I'm sure maybe you have relatives getting them from Turkey
Yeah. Because
because
the thing
it's
is,
really.
bro, it's just as good as the other brands.
Yeah, it's almost it's the same. I mean, you could get the same thing almost, and it's just 5 times, 10 times cheaper sometimes.
Yeah, I have to ask, why is Turkey associated with hair transplants
I think they're just good
and
at it.
mustache transplants?
Mustache transplants.
Yeah, I read an article
Never
on
heard
it.
that. Oh, I've never heard of someone getting that.
Yanal, you think you
Hair
think this is
transplants.
natural, man? You think this is genetics? Fuck no, I paid for the shit. I want my money
They do.
back, but I paid for it.
Oh man. Wait, I don't know if you're serious or not.
I did not get a mustache transplant yet. I was fucking with you.
Bro, wait. I think you had a beard in like grade 8 or 9, dude.
Fuck yeah.
You had a
Bro.
mustache, I remember. You were like one of the earliest ones to have a mustache in high school.
Yeah, it wasn't just a mustache, I'll tell you that.
Oh man. We're
Hair
just
was
a bunch of
sprouting everywhere.
just we're just hairy Arabs, dude. But
So are
there
Arabs.
no hair trans sorry?
So are Arabs. No need to
Yeah.
even add hairy.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's true. If you're
back to
Arab,
the hair transplant, mustache
hair
transplant.
transplant, dude, it's insane. Like, and they come from a lot of countries, like different countries, like
The Gulf.
specific- Europeans.
Hmm.
I saw a lot of Europeans come here for the hair transplants. One of the reasons is it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
So Turkey has that, I think it goes, they have that advantage in branding and marketing hair transplants because they could do it for cheap.
Hmm.
And like people look for quality, but they also look for, the cheapest one. So like a European
Affordable.
coming here to do not even do it's nothing for most Europeans who would come to Turkey. Um, Hair transplants, not really nose jobs. I think maybe other Middle Eastern countries are better at nose jobs.
I think Lebanon
Uh,
is the Middle Eastern spot for nose jobs.
yeah, and
Haifa Wahbi
probably.
look. You just walk in the office, be like, listen, we do Haifa, we do Nancy. Which one you want?
That's it.
That's it. There's no other option. You go to a freaking mall, it's
Like,
like, is that Nancy? Is that Haifa? Is that Nancy? Is that Haifa? No, no.
uh,
They all have the same
no.
plastic surgeon.
Yeah, just the one.
Just the one.
It's like just the one. It's like when like teenage Arab kids like get their Ronaldo haircut.
Oh my god.
It's the same. Like there's just like one haircut on the menu. Like it's a trend.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the hair transplants and they're very quality is good. Like quality, I don't know, but it's always successful. It's nice because I think
People keep
balding is
coming
a
back,
very.
basically.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Balding is a touchy subject, man.
Uh,
Like I
I don't
feel,
know if I'm getting there.
I think we're good. I think you're good.
I know,
You
but do
have
you
a
ever
good
get like
sense of.
suspicious?
Oh, I think every man would, even if even if like
Take a shot.
every
It's like, what is
symptom.
that? Where did it come from?
Yeah, I mean, man, I sit here a lot. Like this is my cave, I call it. I'm sitting in my room like
No, no,
like
I get you. I
almost all
get you.
day. Yeah, so you're bound to have hair on the floor. But
Yeah.
and it's not a lot. I think like men could shed like 50 to 100 hairs, but then I look at like 20 hairs on the floor and I freak out.
Bro, I shed one
So
freaking hair. I'm like, my time has come. Because, bro,
seems
the
like you
amount
don't
of times I've made fun of bald people, including my dad, I'll see one hair drop and be like, oh, I deserve this.
you deserve.
I deserve this. This is karma destroying my follicles.
I mean, that should be a thing, like if you're gonna like make fun of bald men, you probably deserve to shed a few.
Either way, I
You
feel
gotta
like
be
we're
nice to
jinxing
them.
ourselves right now. Point is,
Yeah.
the easy part of living in Turkey, people are
Mhm.
hospitable and hair
Yeah.
transplants are cheap.
Dear transplants are cheap, yes. Cheaper country to live in a whole, and the people are wonderful. Um, Language is difficult. That's a difficult
Yeah.
part, but
So that's the biggest
easy
part.
part, yeah. The food is good here. It's not. I wouldn't say the best. It's
We're going into our bonus question. Don't mention food.
okay. All right. All right.
Yeah, are
All
you
right.
ready for our bonus question, Yanal?
You're right. Yeah, I am.
Okay, I wrote it as bonus question, so it is a bonus question in case you didn't notice. The bonus question. I have to ask this about Turkey. What is with these Instagram chefs? What is it with Salt Bay? What is it with Season Burak, whatever his name is? What is it with
Just
that
in a
guy?
Burak.
What is it with that guy with the amazing mustache who always holds a plate and he goes like Bugün ni yeveni? Like I don't know what I'm pronouncing, but that's how he basically
Bugun
goes.
ne.
Like, and then
Um,
like there's that fat guy with the gold rings, and then there's
that guy
just that
with the
like
golden.
skinny guy with the rat tail haircuts. Like what is
Hmm.
it with these celebrity chefs,
I
Instagram chefs?
I don't know, man. I'm not much of. I don't go on Instagram and see those things often. I know two of the ones you mentioned. Sorry.
Salt Bay and Season.
Yeah, I'm very sorry. Like I thought maybe I could talk more about the Turkish, but I only
Look at there.
know like Jizane and Salt Bay.
Oh,
I
Jizene.
saw a rest. Yeah, it's so the C is a J. So
Ah,
it's like
of
you know how
course,
it's CZN?
of course.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, it's Jezene Burak, I guess, and I think his restaurants are better than Salt Bay.
Salt Bay is more style and like pizzazz, like a gimmick.
Hmm.
What's his name?
He's a meme.
Jibne, Labne, Jamaica. What's the other guy's name? Jizin, Jibin.
Jezene. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly what
Jezene.
you
I'm like,
said. Like with him, I feel it is more quality. Like of the two, he's
oh
my
yeah,
favorite. But I feel like
yeah.
Salt Bay was the one that popularized it. I don't know if he
Oh
was the
yeah,
first, but he was the one who made it popular. He made it a thing.
yeah. For sure, Salt Bay shouldn't be popular just for his food. It's just the way he marketed himself. You know. Yeah, dude. Like, I don't think people really want to eat like I don't know, just
It's a
tossing
brand.
salt
It's a
onto a
brand.
steak. It's just a brand, and he opened the gateway, I guess, for all of these different Turkish chefs because he was the main one. Like you could call him the legend of it. But I think Jason is better.
What do
I don't
Turks
know the
think about
rest.
him and Jazin?
They don't. I think it's just like funny sometimes for them. I don't. They don't take it seriously. They don't like worship the guy as much as Arabs do. I think Arabs worship Jason so much. I think he makes them. He makes them a lot of money. They make him a lot of money.
Yeah, bro,
Because
the
there's,
restaurants are in Dubai.
yep,
It's crazy.
yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
So Turks aren't just
Uh,
like chilling at home with their family, like going nuts on the salt, like cutting shit, smiling like Jizin. They don't do that.
nope.
That's not part of the culture.
No, they don't do it the way he does it, I guess.
Okay, so Yanal, you have introduced me to my biggest disappointment in life.
I mean, I haven't been in many Turkish households, uh, but they homemade Turkish food is good, I think. Very similar to Arabic. Um, but I have to just say that like our restaurants are better. Not our. What
I
am I
think
talking
your
about?
life's in
Our.
danger now, Yanal.
No, really. I mean, I'm talking about Dubai, Jordan. I don't know about Lebanon, but Dubai and
Bro,
Jordan, I
Lebanon
think the
food is
restaurants are
amazing,
better.
okay? It's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
We invented hummus. We invented shawarma. We invented knefe.
Dude,
Hello, okay, now I have just
like,
pissed off Syrians, Palestinians, and Jordanians.
yeah. I
Those
don't
are the
know who
guys.
with the Sham countries. Like, I guess we all have similar food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Turks and Arabs have a big overlap. You know,
Hmm.
they're brown, they're loud, they're Muslim. There's like an overlap with Arabic somewhere, culture-wise, tradition, family structures, things like this. But I feel because of it, the specific history of Turkey, specifically with the nationalism, secularism, like the founder Kemal Ataturk and all that, they have more of a Western secular flavor.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They're like
Uh,
milder Arabs, but not
yes,
really, but like kind of.
kinda. You nailed it with that one. It
Yeah.
seems you already know how it is history-wise as well, and it plays a big role. And I like it that way. I mean, I don't have any problem with it that way. Of course, living in Jordan is very intense, so having just a milder version of our culture kind of merged with that makes it even, the merrier, the better.
It makes it
Um,
easier to
it
join
does.
the culture.
Oh yeah, yeah. And once, now having lived here for so long, I will just tell you now, I wouldn't move back to Jordan. No way.
You just answered my next question.
Did I?
Do you see yourself staying there?
Well, that just shows you that your structure of questions is very good, George.
I'll accept that. I'll accept that pity
Yeah, dude,
compliment.
that's good, good. Because like, you got the questions like laid out right there. I'm answering them without you saying them, man.
Uh,
Oh shit.
you give me a lot of great material to work with.
I'm glad, man.
So now I gotta
Yeah,
ask, what message do you have for people moving to Turkey? A message.
don't do it now. There's a crisis going on. No, I mean,
Unless you're getting dollars and euros.
even no,
Not
because
even?
everything's just no, because the prices have gone up intensely. I mean, I could afford to go and live alone, but it's not like just 2 or 3 years back uh, was just maybe a lot cheaper. Now having a car in Turkey is very hard. They're very expensive. If you have a car from before, you're very lucky.
Hmm.
Even if you could sell your car for a high price, but doesn't mean that you could buy a car, in a better
Yeah.
price. Everything's expensive, yeah.
I feel like everywhere around the world, it's
Yeah,
happening. It's a recession,
yeah.
it's inflation. People
Gas
want to blame
prices.
what's happening in Europe, but it goes beyond that.
It goes beyond that for
It goes
sure.
beyond that.
And yeah, and the gas
Some
prices, it's a national thing.
some places are being hit
International.
worse than others.
Hmm.
So yeah, message for people moving
So
there. Not right now.
message, I could say more than not right now. That when I did it, I would have said, I would say, come, it's beautiful. And I still say that.
Right.
Of course, money is not the biggest issue in the world. I think there's a lot of beautiful cities to live here in Turkey. The
Mm.
two cities that I lived in, Alanya and Istanbul. Um,
We can generalize based on that.
we can generalize from Istanbul for sure, because it's the most touristic, not the capital, but
Mm.
it seems like people when they hear of
Isn't
Istanbul,
Ankara
they
the
would just,
capital?
yes.
Okay.
And but all like Istanbul is just Istanbul.
Mm.
So, but if I chose also for people the message, you viewers, uh, Alanya is so relaxing, I think. If you're not going for work and stuff, if you're going for a holiday, Alanya is beautiful. Beaches like you like, George,
I
a
love
lot of
beaches. Beaches
hotels.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Beaches every day.
Our home in Alanya is on a mountain, and I mean the whole city is just, like one straight line.
Mm.
It's like two, I swear to God, it's the easiest city to drive in, and it's just got, beaches everywhere.
Mm.
And our house is on a mountain, and we have the view of the beach, and the weather's very hot in the summer. Also, it rains a lot there in the
Mhm.
winters. So it's really beautiful. Nature is like كيف تقول باللبناني.
كيف ما نقول بلبنان.
بتجنن او شيء يعني.
بتجنن شي هيك.
ايش
آه.
هيك.
So
or اجنن,
basically,
I
to
would
the
say
English
that.
viewers, it's very scenic, it's very beautiful.
It makes you crazy. بتجنن.
Yeah. So
Yeah, dude. Mhm.
no, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, I think that's all about, yeah.
So what? So that's for people thinking about moving there. Now,
Yeah.
what message do you have for the Turkish people?
For the Turkish people,
For the Turkish people, tell them what
I
you
hope you
tell
not.
them what you don't like about them, Yanal. Tell them, give it to them straight.
Nah, I've had problems with Turkish people, but I think in my lifetime I've had more problems with Arabs. I've never had more problems with Arabs than any other person.
Bro, an Arab's
Uh,
biggest problem is an Arab.
Especially moving to Turkey, I always said like, man, I'm not moving to Turkey to like meet other Arabs here, but of course you meet wonderful people. My message for Turkish people is I hope that you know what I said. Uh, Sorry if there's a sound of a football. That's like,
No
sorry
worries,
for
man.
that sound. My message for Turkish people is like, I hope that what I said is accurate, although it's like opinionated,
Mhm.
but I hope my opinions are, in some sense accurate. I know that they don't have to be because it's just my personal experience, but I hope I hit the nail with that one. And foreigners will understand me more than Turkish people, obviously,
Because they
because
share
this
the
is
same perspective.
coming exactly. But my message is, I'm happy to be here, and I always felt safe here and welcoming. And of course, there's ups and downs in every country you live in, every city you live in. But so far, my 5 years here in Turkey, I'm blessed, man. I don't see myself living here forever. Um, I also want to do my master's and like go on, doing more in, education and like my career and stuff, and maybe live in a different country in the future. But for now, I'm happy here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think if I was to judge, I would say you gave Turkey a positive light. It was a pretty positive image you gave us.
Well,
Realistic hardships, but overall, I think this was a pretty positive video on Turkey.
um, I'm glad you say that, man. I'm happy you said that.
I'm glad you provided it, man.
It's a pleasure to be on here and talking to you, George. And like I said earlier, I don't know if I said it in the recording or pre-recording, but I really appreciate what you're doing because it takes a lot of like charisma and bravery, and really bravery. I think it's brave to just come online and talk, even if it's something that everyone thinks about. But when you think about something, it's not the same as like sharing your thoughts to the world. So I really like it, and I think after this, I'm gonna feel better about myself having shared these things, and I'm sure your previous guests feel the same.
I hope so,
I
man. I really do.
Yeah.
Because honestly, for me, what I can say is I enjoy doing this. I feel everyone's got a great story to tell, every single person. Hello, okay, some of them may be terrible storytellers. Not you, not you.
I
I
think
love this video. I love this video. But yeah, like everyone's got something important to say. People in general are very interesting. And, I want to get that perspective from others and share it with others. Whether, like in your case, they're already living in a country that they're not born in, whether they're going to a country they weren't born in, or they've already experienced all that.
yeah, definitely.
And this is where we reach the conclusion of the video. I would like to ask you, Yanal, do you have any final remarks?
Final remarks, huh? Uh, I hope. Uh, Final remarks.
This is where
Final
you
remarks,
you
dude.
pitch your NFT. This is where you pitch your pyramid scheme.
Dude, no, honestly, final remarks, dude. You show that mug. Put it on the screen just for a sec.
It's not a final remark, it's a final product place.
I don't
Product.
know. Product placement, I guess. Dude, that mug is cool. You designed that though?
I drew it and I made
Yeah.
the design, but I paid someone to digitalize it and color it in. I'm terrible with colors. I don't
And you
see
got a
color,
shirt.
Yanal.
You don't see color. Well, you got a shirt that has your logo, right?
Yeah, yeah. The
Good.
the
I
the
like it.
shop is going to launch online soon. I'm just setting up all the supply demand stuff because apparently it's not so straightforward. And yeah, I hope to get one day where my guests get this mug.
Good. I would. They look
There's a
cool,
mug for
man.
you, man. There's
Just.
a mug for you in the future.
Well, I really like it, and it suits you. I don't know. It's like it says George all over it.
Everyone says it. Okay, everyone says it looks like me, or
It
it's
does.
my essence.
It's your essence. I would say it's your essence for
Yeah. So the
sure.
design I was going for is he's
I
getting
think
ready
I
for a Zoom meeting.
I never like looked at it properly like that.
You don't need
That's
pants for a
awesome.
Zoom meeting. I, full clarity, I am wearing shorts, so don't worry,
I'm sure
guys.
you are.
I can't speak for Yanal. Maybe he's a complete pervert, but
No, no,
we
I'm
don't
good.
judge
I'm good.
here.
I'm wearing my shorts, but I'm good, man. No
Perfect.
boxers here.
So
But
Yanal,
I've probably done it before, just out of laziness.
we've all done it before, bro.
We've all
So
done
yeah,
it.
bro, honestly, I just want to say thank you for joining us. Thank you for
Oh
sharing your
man.
experiences with us. I totally enjoyed this video, even though I feel like I went on a tangent about shows, Turkish shows.
Oh,
We'll make a clip of
dude,
that.
we
And
will.
honestly, we're honored to have you. And this is the Third Culture Rant segment, but I would love to have you for the Been There segment where we talk more about personal life rather than like experiencing things as an immigrant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I,
So
I honestly, for me, that's something I would like to talk about more than here because it's more unique and personal.
yeah, we can do
Because
both.
we can do both. Yeah.
And
Thank you
bro, I
for
definitely
having
want to
me.
have you back in the future.
Yeah, I'm very. I think this was really comfortable. Really, time flew, dude.
Time flew. Oh, I'm
I
just rubbing
swear,
all
I
over my
think we
laundry,
had a
dude.
call 2 hours. I mean, just a little under 2 hours ago.
There's going to be some edits, but before we get to
Oh,
that, I'm going to tell everyone in this watching this video, thank you guys for being here with us. Thank you guys for listening to me and Yanal go back and forth on the life of an immigrant in Turkey. If you guys are new to the channel, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. Perfect. Yanal's got the general direction.
is it over here?
Because
Yeah.
exactly. Because you know what? We are trying to make this a growing community where we can have discussions, dialogue, feedback. And if you agree or disagree with whatever we discussed, if you want to see new topics, if you want to ask questions to either Yanal or myself, please, guys, comment down below, subscribe, like, and share with your friends. For now, this episode, and thank you for being with us, Yanal. This episode, rant, dialogue, whatever you want to call it, is over.
Thank you,
Everyone,
George.
thank you, Yanal. Everyone, take care and go easy on yourselves. Have a great day.